Chapter 4. Learning Lessons. There was always something interesting happening in the camp, and White Fang was quick to learn. Most of all, he learned how to fight. His worst enemy was Lip Lip. White Fang was brave, but Lip Lip was bigger and stronger, and was always looking for a fight. The other dogs were unfriendly too. They joined Lip Lip and started fights with the little wolf cub. And when it was time to eat, they chased him away. So White Fang learned how to fight harder and faster, and to hurt others quickly. He learned how to steal their food, and he became braver and angrier and more dangerous every day. In the autumn of the year, the Indians took down their teepees, packed their bags, and got their canoes ready to go hunting. White Fang watched some of the canoes go down the river. He understood what was happening and quickly decided not to go with them. Now he could be free. When nobody was looking, he ran through the trees and into a stream. The water was very cold, but he wanted to hide his trail. After some time, he climbed out of the stream and found a place in the undergrowth to lie down and sleep. Later, he woke up to the sound of Gray Beaver's voice. White Fang did not move. Again and again, Gray Beaver called his name, but at last everything went quiet. For a time, White Fang played between the trees, happy to be free. Then it got dark, and everything was silent. Only the trees made noises above him. He was cold, but there was no warm side of a teepee to sleep against. And he was hungry. He remembered the pieces of meat and the fish which the men threw to him in the camp. White Fang ran back to the Indian village, but there was nobody there. Suddenly, he felt lonely and afraid. The next morning, he started to run along the river bank. He ran all day without resting. He climbed mountains and swam across streams, always following the big river. It started to snow, but he ran all that night and again the next day. By now, he was weak and hungry. When he was nearly too tired to stand up, he heard the sounds of the camp. Then, near the river bank, he saw the fire, and he could smell food cooking. Gray Beaver sat next to the fire. He looked up and saw the little gray cub. White Fang crawled slowly across to the Indian. He lay down beside him and waited for Gray Beaver to hit him or shout at him. But Gray Beaver did not hit him. he gave White Fang some meat. White Fang smelled it carefully, then started to eat. He was not afraid now. He was warm and happy to be back with the gods. When it was the middle of December, Gray Beaver went on a journey up the Mackenzie River. His son, Mitsa, and his wife, Klukuch, went with him. They took 2 sleds. Gray Beaver was driving the bigger sled, and Mitsa was driving the smaller sled. White Fang was only 8 months old, and Gray Beaver tied him to Mitsa's sled. Lip Lip ran at the front, with White Fang and 5 other puppies behind him. White Fang learned to be afraid of men's hands. It was true that they sometimes threw him meat, but more often they threw sticks at him or hurt him. And in the village of Great Slave Lake, White Fang learned a new lesson. A boy was cutting up some meat when some of it fell on the ground near White Fang. Meat that fell on the ground was usually for the dogs. So the young wolf cub immediately started to eat it. Then he saw the boy put down his knife and pick up a large, heavy stick. White Fang did not understand. He ran away, but the boy chased him and tried to hit him. White Fang became angry. Without stopping to think, he turned and bit the boy's hand. Immediately, he was sorry and afraid. He knew that it was wrong to bite the hand of a man-animal. Later, the boy and his family came to see Gray Beaver. But Gray Beaver, Klukuch, and Mitsa all spoke angrily to the boy and his family. The boy was wrong to hit White Fang, Gray Beaver told them. And after they went away, he did not hit the young cub. So White Fang learned that there were his gods and there were other gods. His gods could hit him at any time, but other gods must not hit him when he was doing nothing wrong. Before the day was finished, White Fang learned more of this lesson about his gods and other gods. Mitsa was alone, getting wood for the fire. White Fang was watching him. The boy with the bitten hand and some of his friends saw Mitsa. They went after him and started to shout bad words and attack him. At first, White Fang did nothing. This was a fight between man-gods, and nothing to do with him. But then he remembered that this was Mitsa, one of his gods. Angrily, he ran and chased the other boys away, biting some of them. When Mitsa told his story at the camp, Gray Beaver gave White Fang more meat than all the other dogs. And from this, White Fang learned that it was his job to protect Gray Beaver's family and property.